Hello folks, Blaze here, and I am ready to start blazing yet another trail. Just finished up my XCOM run after over a year, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this is sorta right here why I wanted to get that finished up, because I wanted to get started on this. As you can see from the fancy little title screen here, I'm gonna be playing Starcraft Mass Recall. This is actually a fan-made mod, phenomenally well done, remakes the StarCraft 1 campaign, and complete with the Brood War, as you can see here, remakes it entirely in StarCraft 2, complete with all the dialogue, the original map sort of remade, revamped for StarCraft 2, but completely accurate to the originals, with a few minor details that generally only improve the experience, so it's really, really cool. However, there are already several runs of this out there on YouTube, but what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm actually going to be doing something slightly different from most of them. I'm actually going to be playing with the retro edition of the mod installed. Now, what that does, that actually revert. Now, in the normal version of the mod, there are some of the units, like the Goliath, have been reverted to their original StarCraft 1 voice set. However, the Retro Edition does that for all the units and also includes a whole extra mess of all sorts of custom models for all sorts of different units to make things sort of look more like the original StarCraft 1 look. Now, the reason a lot of these weren't included in the original mod is because a lot of them aren't nearly as high quality, and so they feel it wasn't really worth it. But the option of the retro edition is there for those people who do like that extra little bit of detail. And so I'm going to be going with that and sort of commenting on those models as I go as well. But before I actually go into it, I just want to point out they've got a neat little uh, menu, sort of title screen menu here that go in for all the different campaigns. Let you select which map. And of course, they got a little option screen here, so you can set what the default speed is set to. I'm actually going to be playing on medium because much though my friends will disagree with me, I am anything but an expert in actual StarCraft, and if I play on hard, I will die horribly, repeatedly. But I'm not going to be playing alone this one because, hey, the Backseat Gamer is with us once again. Say hello.
Hi.
And he's probably going to be futzing about in Space Engineers as well, while we each scream about our own shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing I'm actually going to ask you for, Dushta.
Yeah.
One option they give us in here is that they actually have little option to tick or untick for Brood War tech in episodes 1 through 3. So pretty much that lets us have medics in the original Terran campaign. It lets us have lurkers in the first Zerg campaign. Should I activate that or not?
That depends on how much you want to break those campaigns.
Well, honestly, I can play him with or without. I don't really care either way. So I'm actually going to leave that up to you. Would you like to see me using medics and lurkers?
This is a very bad idea, leaving the fate of your game in my hands.
Like I said, I can play with or without him. It really doesn't affect me. It just makes things a little bit easier in some circumstances.
Let's go with.
Sure. And one thing I'm not going to disable because they're just plain fun. There are extra hero abilities that weren't in StarCraft 1 that they give to the hero units. Like, for example, Kerrigan as a ghost gets the snipe ability from Nova in the Wings of Liberty campaign.
Huzzah.
And extra fun things like that. And there are also little notes at the end of each level when a cinematic would normally play. I'm not going to duck out to show those cinematics, but I'll make a little note of when those notes show up. I remember in the original, sort of Heart of the Swarm release of this, those notes weren't actually working, but they did actually recently update that to a 5.1, and they said that the cinematic notes are one of the things that they fixed, so we shall see.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to start by taking us into the tutorial boot camp just for the little opening text bit. But what do you think, Richard? Should I skip the tutorial? Should I skip the actual tutorial and move on to the first level once I've shown that, or should I actually go through it?
What the hell? Let's go through it.
Okay.
Let's see how they recreated it here.
Mm-hmm. I forget. Have you seen me playing through these before?
I don't think so.
Huh.
Not in any long detail like this.
Okay then. Well, let's see how it goes then. Boot camp, Office of the Colonial Magistrate, Marsara Colony. Terran Campaign, Rebel Yell. In the decades since the end of the Guild Wars, the oppressive Terran Confederacy has stood unchallenged in its supremacy over colonized space. All of that changed 4 days ago when a large alien fleet emerged from warp space and laid waste to the unsuspecting Confederate colony of Chowsara. The Confederacy, fearing that the alien fleet's next target will be the colony of Marsara, has sent you to intervene. Acting as magistrate, you are to safeguard the colonists and keep their state of panic from escalating any further.
For those who haven't played the original Starcraft, because there are people alive who can have done that now, that would have been the lovely cinematic where someone's head got exploded by a Protoss carrier.
Maybe? I don't know. It doesn't really show it destroying a planet.
Yeah, it's the salvage crew that gets annihilated because they happen to be smack in the way of the destruction beam thing that lifted straight from Independence Day. Or did Independence Day lift it straight from this game?
Small note though, first new portrait actually right away. This is actually a, I don't know why they actually went for a different, I don't know why they really went for a different adjutant portrait like this, but it's still a neat little touch. I think that's actually the Confederate adjutant that you recover in Wings of Liberty.
And
of course,
okay to go.
It keeps going on like this. And if you actually leave it long enough, it'll actually show, bring up like a random recipe for like some sort of food. I'm not gonna go through that, so I'm just gonna start this up here. Supply and maintenance platform, low orbit over Marsara. And this is an in-character. And right away, a couple new models here. The SCV looks a little bit different than normal, and the Marines. This Marine model is actually based on the one that's included in the, how the Marines looked in the in-game, or the like pre-rendered cinematics of the original game. Rather than
not gonna lie, I'm not hot on the old designs.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I sort of prefer the normal Marine look myself, but it's neat that they went for that sort of kind of detail.
If you're going to send us into hostile territory, and you want us to defend ourselves, then use the attack command. But if you want us to ignore enemy fire and go exactly to the spot you targeted, then use the move command. Now, which'll it be?
Fuck you too.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
I mean, granted, he's entirely right. This is, like, even in character, this is a tutorial for the magistrate.
Rock and roll. Let's move. Reporting for duty.
Of course, supply depots.
Landing gear won't let go? Fine, burn it off.
You can use SCVs to build additional supply depots.
Having trouble with your ship?
Yes. For those of you playing at home, physics is hard.
Go. Let's move. Rock and roll.
How are things going over here? You know what? Build that.
Commander. Outstanding.
God damn it.
Rock and roll. Outstanding. Let's move. Go. Rock
Yeah.
and roll.
Physics! I'm just sort of wandering the map, exterminating everything I come across, because why not?
Kill, maim, slaughter, conquer. Ah!
Skulls for the Skull Throne, etc.
Cornflakes for the corn god. Wait.
What?
Orders, Captain?
To save up 100 minerals for a refinery. And I have expended all of my murder. I have expended all of my murder potential. There's nothing else to kill except for my own dudes, and I am not a jerk like that. At least not yet.
Skull throne.
Magistrate, our stockpile of minerals has run out.
Don't care.
Select an SCV and use the gather command on the crystals to collect more minerals.
One sec, I'm getting a call from work.
Oh.
Use
Okay.
your SCVs to gather additional minerals.
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of fun stuff like that in the tutorial. Pretty faithful recreation in general, all in all.
The refinery processes raw Vespine gas, converting it into a form which your SCVs can gather.
All in all, very yawn. But Dushta insisted I go for it, so why not?
Give me something to shoot.
Faithful recreation.
Go, go, go.
Recreation. Whatever.
Yes, sir?
Yeah, all of the
This
original
concludes the
sounds.
equipment demonstration. There will now be a fully catered reception at Marsara Base.
Jacked up and
Yay! Feast! Banquets! Yay! I'm being sent here to prevent this public state of panic from escalating. Let's have a feast! I killed 14 unidentified creatures. And little Marsara Confederate logo there. Wasteland, Office of the Colonial Magistrate.
Adjutant online. Good evening, Magistrate. I'll fill you in on what's been happening. Confederate traffic has increased substantially within the system due to the recent Protoss destruction of the Chow Sara colony. The Confederates have tightened security on all outlying systems, and it's likely that this colony will be locked down as well. An encrypted Confederate transmission came for you while you were at dinner. Replaying transmission.
Greetings, Magistrate. I'm General Edmund Duke of the Confederate Security Forces Alpha Squadron. The Confederacy has
And I'm back.
quarantined this
Hello.
entire planet.
Quoth the SCV.
We'll proceed with the
Woohoo!
lockdown
Overtime.
within 48 hours.
Not in this one.
You're to relocate
Original
your
quotes,
core
baby.
colonists to the outlying wastelands. Now I know
Ah.
there won't be any problems
Space.
with these new
Why must you be so confusing?
Because space.
Transmission ended. I have contacted the local marshal, James Rayner.
Woo, Rainer.
Rayner has agreed to meet your
Yay.
personnel en route and escort them to the new wasteland site.
Not gonna lie, a little bit disappointed that there's no sort of special model for Duke. He just uses a generic battlecruiser portrait.
Yeah.
And again, I haven't really seen any custom sort of portraits for Duke that would that are really any kind of high quality. I've seen one, but from the still portrait I've seen of it, it doesn't really look that good.
Can't believe we're being sent to the wasteland. These Confederates think they can push anybody
I'm just
around.
trying to remember what Duke looks like, because wasn't he like a cue-balled asshole?
Pretty much.
Something to shoot.
He could use a siege tank.
Well,
Howdy, boys. I'm Jim Rayner.
Custom siege
Marshal
tank
these parts.
portrait, maybe a siege breaker.
Orders, Captain?
I don't know.
Jacked up and this
Yeah,
is Jimmy.
Rainer with a custom model that actually has him in the Vulture,
Yay.
which looks awesome, and the Vulture itself is actually souped up as well.
Anytime you like.
As befits Rayner's appreciation of a classic vehicle such as the Vulture.
Mm-hmm.
This is Jimmy.
And of course, Rainer took some
Classic
hits, but
death trap as derided by Swan.
Commander.
I read you.
Swan is not impressed. Rainer loves it. Now you guys start gathering stuff, and
Yes, sir? Give me something to shoot. Rayner here.
let's explore a little bit.
One thing that I'd kind of like to see is a Marine on a Vulture.
Sounds fun.
That would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Then, of course, perhaps James Rayner in his Marine outfit on the Vulture.
Oh, yeah.
Because it
Would be
makes
interesting.
sense.
Yeah.
It would be a bit better than street clothes out on a bike that can presumably go Mach 10 and has a radiological hazard just in the engine.
I don't think it's quite that fast. But I'm actually going to leave the Marines at home now. I'm gonna go ahead and start leaving the Marines at home while I lead Jim around to sort of explore and cause trouble.
Explore and kick ass. Because the vultures have little grenades which eat Zerg alive.
Well, they certainly eat Zerglings alive. Fun fact, Raynor's Vulture actually fires faster than the standard Vulture. It actually has
a hero unit.
Yeah, it actually has a faster attack speed. There are only actually a few hero units that actually do that, and that's a spider mine obliterating a Zergling.
Fweep, fweep, boom.
And actually, one thing I noticed a while back that amused me further, not only does he actually attack faster, the actual animation for the attack travels to the destination faster than the normal Vulture too, which I think is just hilarious.
So he's basically souped up the engines and the guns.
Basically. Kerboom. I'm not gonna go up there because there's more stuff up there than I want to. At this point, I'm just killing time waiting for the Marines to train, because that's all I need to do for this mission.
Well, there's a fucking idea I could try.
Oh?
Also, excuse my French, ladies and gentlemen, I like to swear a lot.
If they watched the last... anyone who watched the previous edition of Blazing the Trail will be aware that, the language in these videos is not going to be kid-friendly. Especially since this is Starcraft, they swear anyway.
That's true. Space engineers, I am trying to figure out the physics of, well, essentially a gravity-driven ship.
Appropriate considering what we're playing now.
Mm-hmm. Essentially, no matter which way I've built things or put them together and tried them out, the thing would always want to fly off in its own little direction. I am getting rather frustrated with this.
Victora! And you know what? Let's do one more level before I finish up the episode.
Yay.
Backwater Station. Do 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 do. There we go.
Receiving incoming transmission. Comlink established.
Hey, what's up, man? Got your refugees tucked in nice and tight? Provided you can sidestep any more surprises from our Confederate friends and we can keep them away from those critters, they should have an easy time.
Priority alert. Backwater station under attack by unknown alien organisms. Distress beacon activated at 0658. Alerting Confederate headquarters on Tarsonis. Stand by for incoming transmission.
We've already received the distress beacon from Backwater, and we'll take care of it. You just sit tight. You'll be notified if there's anything.
Hey, this is where Jim gets in shit.
Damn. Listen,
Pretty much.
if we wait for Confederate reinforcements, that station's dust. I'll head out there now and do what I can. You send in some militia, and we'll save those folks. Trust me.
Well, that's a pleasant sight to arrive to. Backwater Station, where the people come first. Better tell the Confederates that.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Then again, we don't have much of a baseline to compare it to, but at least the Dominion in StarCraft 2 does seem to slightly value the lives of the people.
Ah, really?
This is true. When the chips are down, Arcturus will kill everybody and everybody to keep his own ass safe.
Glad to see you, boys.
Yeah.
Time to kick some serious butt.
And I like the touch of the Marines arriving in the truck there. That's pretty cool.
The APC unit in StarCraft 2 would have been neat to toy around with, but it would have served no purpose.
Pretty much.
This is Jimmy.
Why do we need an APC when we have a medvac?
Go ahead, Commander.
And let Raynor take the hits, because I can repair him. On to Raynor. A lot of people tend to, especially in the later levels, just avoid using the heroes at all. I personally not a huge fan of that, simply because as long as you're careful with them, they really do come in very handy. Like I said, you just need to be careful with them.
Anytime you're ready. This is Jimmy.
I think I might have screwed up the orientation, but this is easily fixed. Let's see here.
Actually gonna get a refinery up there because I am actually gonna want some more gas than I start with.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Simply put, if I had tried things out as I had them right there, I would have reversed into the platform I'd built for basically a station gantry.
Looks like the ground there is
Fun.
alive.
Uh-huh.
You want a piece of me, boy?
And now, test 255 billion. Go!
And it flies into a sun.
I
Sounds
wish
fun.
sometimes.
It would be easy. It would be less confusing.
Oh, bitch.
Raynor here.
Oh, what?
Ah! It turns when I don't want it to.
Ah, come on! Stupid spider mine.
Anytime you're ready.
Did it blow away, Jim?
No, it didn't do anything.
Oh.
It like started to activate and then it decided, nah, fuck you.
Like, enemy? No enemy.
Like, yes, enemy!
Raynor here.
Ah.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Not enough minerals.
Go
Alright,
ahead,
fuck it, let's move
Commander.
out.
Liking the way this orientation goes, though.
This should be good.
Ooh, and...
Sounds fun.
Spider mine? Ooh. Blew a couple of my own guys away, but it killed like
This is Jimmy.
50 Zerglings at the same time, so I'm okay with this.
Not enough minerals.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Commander.
You can cannon fodder your Marines.
Yes.
Not to such a great extent as the Zerg can do with their Zerglings, but you can do it.
Yeah. Now, I am
Things have been out here
actually
a while.
going
But they would be
to
pretty useful.
stick you three in here,
Jacked up and anytime you're ready. Let's burn.
and
Need a light.
Well, that's hilarious right there.
another new unit model, the Firebat, made a lot less bulky and looking more like just a Marine with flamethrowers, just like he was in the original. And he has a portrait to match.
Lame.
Also,
I'm
one
sorry,
amusing
I like
little
the new Firebat models.
Also, one amusing little glitch with the Firebat's classic quotes. When you click on him,
You got it.
he acts like you just gave him an order. But when you give him an order,
You got my attention.
he acts like you just clicked on him.
Eh.
Slightly backwards.
Oopsie.
Commander,
And just for now, just pull in the bunker.
you got it. Slam it.
You know what?
Give me something to shoot. Naturally. Raynor here.
And let's get some Marine range.
You want a piece of me, boy? Standing by. This is Jimmy.
And that's why I put dudes in the bunkers.
Anytime you're ready.
Firebats, they tear Zerglings to bits.
Mm-hmm.
And because I have them available, I'm gonna make me a medic or two.
Give me something to
Because
shoot.
they come in handy, they does. And you know what, let's put one more line right here.
Sounds fun. This should be good.
Can I nail me some Zerglings? Splat!
Right on.
They even brought back the classic healing noise.
Yay.
Rather than the little sort of
Healy beam thing.
Did someone page me?
Jacked up and good.
Upgrade complete.
Fiddly as they are, Firebats and Spider Mines were my favorites in
Your forces
for the
are under
Terrans
attack.
in the classic Starcraft.
yeah.
Go ahead,
Like speaking purely practically, Firebats were kind of really bad.
Your medical
Yeah.
But but we didn't care. They were awesome.
They're
And
awesome
that
because
right there,
fire everything.
yes, yeah. What the, you son of a.
Commander. Let's move.
That's why I left dudes back there. Yet more troops, because not enough. Rip these guys out.
Does Jim replenish his spider mines like in the campaign as now?
No, he cannot. He was never able to replenish his spider.
This is Jimmy.
There was an earlier version of this campaign where I think he was given that ability in 1 or 2 levels, but it's not available here.
Ah.
I don't remember if later levels of this gave him that ability, but I don't think so.
That would have pretty much made the vultures right there. As
Yeah.
if they could replenish their spider mines in the field without just having to build a new unit.
You know, I'm actually gonna... You know, I'm just gonna say screw it and move out. And fire bats! Look at them Zerglings fry!
Thing.
Oh yeah, an extra little touch that wasn't in the original game. A couple of shooty-infested marines.
Oh yeah. Live for the swarms.
At least these aren't the exploding version. That would have sucked this early on. And
Yeah.
all my fire bats are dead. So let's make a couple
They do,
more.
What, 500 damage?
Yeah. Oh god. All Jim back.
Retarded amount of damage per blast.
Base is under attack.
Live stream, fix your shit.
What's going on?
This should be good.
Oh, it's just delaying further and further, so I'm refreshing.
Ah. And here come more Hydralisks.
Twitch at least has a consistent 20-second buffer on its stream. Live stream just has an ever-increasing buffer. So it goes from like 1 second to 30 minutes if you're watching for too long.
Also, one thing I do want to mention that I love about the original game that was recreated here. The unit that cries out, what the hell did they do to that command center, actually depends on whether you bring a firebat or a marine in range first.
Nice.
And that actually change. Yeah, so that actually does change. And boom goes the infested command center.
Receiving.
Yay, we're now criminals.
Yay!
Go us. Screw the Confederacy.
Confederate installation. You and your men have violated standing colonial law. As of right now, you're all under arrest. I suggest you throw down your weapons and come peaceably.
Are you out of your mind?
Okay, let's try this once again.
This entire colony could have been overrun. Maybe if you hadn't taken your sweet time in getting here.
Now, I asked you nice the first time, boy. I didn't come here to talk with you. Now throw down them weapons.
Guess you wouldn't be a Confederate if you weren't a complete pain in the ass.
I like that summary by Jim. Ooh, and worth noting down here, the cinematic Wasteland Patrol would have played right here in the original. With Lester and Sarge.
Damn, Sarge, you hit some poor feller's dog.
It's a Zerglin, Lester, yada yada yada. I love you, Sarge.
Ugh. And then the Hydralisk kills them.
Yup.
And of course, later on, we get the most awesome cinematic ever. A dramatic lead up to Thank God for Cold Fusion.
I love that cinematic so much. Though admittedly, that one jump scare that sort of started off the shit going haywire did scare the crap out of me as a kid, because I was like 10.
What, the Hydralisk splitting the dude's skull in half?
Yeah, the dude's face exploding. Like, that scared
He's
the
gonna take a
crap
drink.
out of me as a kid.
Splat!
Like, Jesus Christ!
I got your message, Magistrate.
Your buddy there goes to take a drink out of a can of beer, and then suddenly his head explodes in half, and the
Now,
beer goes
I just wanted to
flying.
make one comment about this briefing here. I want to know what the hell I said to piss Duke off. I want to know what the hell the player character said. He's just like, I don't care what you have to say about Confederate regulations. I want to know!
The Confederates have arrested all standing militia forces and continue to avoid action against the
I imagine being the colonial magistrate, he told Duke he could shove it if he wasn't gonna let him do his job.
Something along those lines, I imagine.
I would hope, at least.
Yeah.
Their liaison is holding online.
Good day, Magistrate. My name
Hello,
is
Arturus.
and I represent the
Da 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 da. Oh,
Uh-oh, what did you do?
reputation suggests
holy crap! I'm still in the cockpit.
to operate in any one place for long.
Having fun.
I am, yes. In other words, physics.
Yeah, for the record, people watching... Actually, wait a minute. I said I was just going to do the one more level, didn't I? So I'll let the briefing finish, and then I'll sort of cut things for next time.
That's why they spread their lies and misinformation. If you decide to accept our help, you'll be branded as an outlaw too. But it's a chance to save those people. Time to make a stand, Magistrate.
Ending transmission. Priority alert. Evacuation zone under attack by Zurich forces. Distress beacon activated at 12:20.
Alright, and so, gonna save it there for next time. So, in the meantime, you guys have fun. This is Blaze signing off.